The date is Sunday the 19th of, what are we, February? We're February or we're January? February. And we borrowed a Kochi sent us from Israel with Grandma Shoshana. And since we got the tape recorder here, it's a good opportunity to send a letter to you. First of all, let Grandma Shoshana say hi. Safta Shoshana, תגיד להם בעברית שלום, הכל טוב.
כולם יודעים מה זה שלום,
לא
הכל
חשוב,
טוב.
אבל תגידי את זה.
איך קוראים להם?
בקי, רבקה ומיק.
גברת כהן.
כן.
גברת כהן.
כן.
גברת כהן, שלום.
לא.
ומה עוד?
מה היית אומרת להם בעברית?
מה הייתי אומרת? גברת כהן, שלום לכל המשפחה. מה להגיד להם?
תגידי מה שאת רוצה.
מה אגיד להם בעברית? מה הם מבינים?
תגידי בעברית ואחר כך נהיה תרגם.
גברת כהן, שלום. שלום לכל המשפחה. אני פה כל כך מבסוטית מרוב קור. טיילנו אני ואיין היום לשתי מקומות, היה דווקא יפה לראות משפחה וזה, אבל אני חושבת הכי טוב בבית בישראל. אז שלום.
To translate what Shoshana said, she said, hello Mrs. Cohen and the family. What should I say? Then hello Mrs. Cohen and the family. What should I say? Is that what she said, Adiel? And then she said that she's here and absolutely delighted of the cold. That it's so cold. And the best place to be is in Israel, but it's to be at home in Israel, but she's pleased to come here and see the family. In fact, it's been very difficult to show her around. Today was the first chance that we had really to take her even to show old parts of old historical Philadelphia. Philadelphia has a number of, as you may or may not know, Philadelphia was the original capital of the United States, and the conference that decided to break away from Britain was held here, and the Declaration of Independence was written and was declared here, and they have the famous Liberty Bell, which was supposed to ring out the freedom and all that sort of thing. So anyway, I took her to see the Liberty Bell today, and we went past Independence Hall, which was the first parliament of the United States before Washington became the capital. And we saw, what else did we see? We went to the first High Court, the Court of Appeal, that's also here in Philadelphia. So that at least when she goes back to Israel, people asked her, did she see the Liberty Bell? Not only did she see it, but I took a photograph of her with that. She's been here now for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that, 3 weeks almost. And probably next weekend we'll spend in New York with Orah's cousin Shalom and his wife, and Aaron, who's his brother, who's also been staying with them. And either we'll go on Friday or we'll join them on Sunday and stay over a few days so that she'll be able to see something of New York before going back. And she's not all that impressed with America. She likes the large house that we have here, but on the other hand thinks that the thing that she likes about it is that you have plenty of place to hang up the washing. The fact that they have an electric drying machine is a bit irrelevant as far as she's concerned, because she wouldn't use that anyway. And of course, since you have to live indoors, not like in Israel when you're living most of your time outside the house, because of the weather you're living indoors, she agrees that it's nice to have a house so big as this. The big surprise is getting up in the morning and feeling nice and warm. And she said, oh, I must take Romia out for a walk. And soon she opened the door, was met by an icy blast, and realized how naive that was in thinking that just because it's warm inside, it's warm outside. Because of course in Israel, if you don't have central heating, you know when it's cold when you wake up and you feel your toes are cold. And here it's nice that you can look outside and decide if it's cold or not by how you feel, but by what you can see. Anyway, we were very lucky, although it took an awful long time until she finally arrived, because there was a mix-up about the tickets, about the ticket should have been sent from New York, and there was a mix-up about that, when they should have been sent. So it really took us about 2 or 3 weeks later than we expected before, in fact, she came. But we were very lucky in as much that Shalom in New York agreed to meet her, and we said, well, he could put her on the train and we'd meet the train, because it was in this terrible weather and with the baby sick, it was going to be, and the car being a bit dicey. To go up to New York to pick her up would have been quite a major undertaking. What happened was, Orah, we heard the morning that she was coming, that one of the other teachers had in Orah's school, or a friend of one of the other teachers' daughter was coming from Israel, and in fact came on the same flight, and so he was going to bring her from New York to Philadelphia, and he met up with Shalom, and Shalom had a friend who's the head of the customs, so he was able to whisk both Shoshana and this one's daughter quickly through customs, and then this one from Philadelphia brought her right to the house. So that she found was very good. It was very convenient indeed, and he was a Rav and spoke some Ivrit, and so that was really a perfect solution to the problem of getting her here. The first week was quite difficult for her because of the jet lag, that she found that her sleep pattern was that isn't good at the best of times, was upset by the fact that we're 7 hours out of phase with Israel, and so when it was our going to sleep time, it was her waking up time, getting up time, which took quite a bit of getting used to. Anyway, that took about a week until it got sorted out. At that time, the baby was just finishing getting her radiation, and she just really came at the end of that difficult period that Orah was having to take the baby every day to the hospital. Now we've got to the stage where the baby has to go into hospital once a week or every 2 weeks for a blood test, and once every month for a intravenous injection. The rest of the treatment is by tablets. The baby's feeling fine, and her hair is growing up again. She didn't lose all her hair. She was left with a sort of little almost edge of hair around her head, and it looks like her hair's growing back in again. She is doing very nicely on the treatment, and is full of beans. She still, I think, is suffering from the fact that she was in hospital, and is demanding a lot of attention, and at night especially wants to be sure that her mummy is close. It's been a bit tiring, but at the moment she's getting better. Don't move that, Adiel. If you'd move that, then we can't hear properly. Anyway, she's feeling fine and is full of cheek, and there's no major problem with her. I hope in the next few weeks that she'll be able to go back to her babysitter who was looking after her before, because there's no real reason why she shouldn't if she's feeling well. No, it hasn't. It's right in the middle. Work. Orah's back to work. The kids and Orah have missed quite a bit of time with school being cancelled, especially Orah, with school being cancelled because of the snow. In Philadelphia, they're not really used to coping with more than a couple of inches of snow, and they tend to overreact a bit to the snow warnings. The weather forecasts are rather amusing here, that they tell you also the statistical chance of the weather forecast will be right. They'll say there's a 20% chance of rain or a 50% chance of rain, but here they were talking about 100% chances of snow. And in fact, they got to even more snow than they expected. We're getting up to 12 inches of snow here, which took us quite some digging out. There was only one day that I wasn't able to make it into work, but since this month I wasn't on the ward. I'm an immunology and bone marrow transplant fellow. It wasn't all that critical. I didn't come in. Hi, baby. Romia's coming, is now sitting on my knee, but since I'm not holding the microphone, I've got it in my pocket. I don't think she realizes why I'm talking. Hi, baby. What are you doing? Did Mummy show you? She says, Mummy, give me the keys.
Say, give me.
Are you going to put them in my pocket? Oh, let me take that away. Ah, thank you, darling. She's taken the keys and put them in my pocket, but since that was right next to the microphone, that was probably quite loud for your little ears. Baby, have you just woken up? Did you have a nice sleeping? Thank you. But they're not for eating, little baby. They're not for eating. What? Don't we have here? What's interesting is that of the things which are there are a lot of things which are quite expensive, but watermelon, fortunately, is not very expensive, much to Orah's great delight. So today, I was saying that you're very pleased that watermelon's not particularly expensive here compared with other things. The other thing that the Americans, I just bought some watermelon on the way back. The drinks, they have orange juice, but working on the principle that most of the cost of transporting the orange juice is in fact the cost of transporting the water. They make cans of orange juice and dehydrate them, so you have a sort of a thick stuff, and then you keep it frozen because it doesn't have any preservatives. And then when you get it back and want to use it, you reconstitute it by adding 3 times or 4 times the amount of water, which is rather a clever idea, so long as you have a freezer. I don't know, I haven't seen that in England, but I'm sure it's one of the things that she'll come. Anyway, Romia's looking at me. She just can't understand why I'm talking all the time with nobody there. She's just gone wandering off with the keys. Yesterday she slept during the afternoon very well, and so she at night time didn't want to sleep and watch the late night movie with us till about 2 o'clock in the morning, and then even then refused to go to sleep in her bed, wanted to come to our bed. So what happens is she wants to sleep next to her mummy, so Orah puts it between the two of us, and then after about half an hour she runs away, goes to sleep somewhere else, and so long as the baby has somebody to kick, she doesn't mind who it is. So I was there for kicking. Anyway, we're all well, and there's no big problems. Adiel said that he would like to talk to you, so let me pass on the tape to him and he'll tell you all the things he wants to tell you.
Hello, Adiel is talking.
Don't put it so close. That's all right. What do you want to tell him about? Do you want to tell him about the snow?
No, you told him about it.
Okay. About Shimron's birthday party? All about the present.
Shimron will come.
So what would you like to tell him about Romia?
You
tell
told him
about tell him about school.
I want to tell him I want you to come soon because I want Jeffrey to come too, because we have a broken television, and another that is television that is good. So we want Jeffrey to come so he can mend the broken one. So we can my father or Jeffrey can put it upstairs somewhere.
Well, would you like it in your room?
Yeah.
Romia, do you see I like? I like? Romia has just brought me her Romia has just brought her book of Sesame Street. There's one of Big Bird. And she calls it I like. I like. What's this, darling?
Good.
What is it? Eggy?
I know.
What?
Big Bird and Little.
Big Bird and Little Bird. And she says, what's that?
And she calls Big Bird bigger.
And what?
B for big and guy, I don't know. Guy for Jim big. And I don't know.
What did she call Shimron?
And she called Shimron and Pinky or Pinking.
Shimpink and Pinking. What does she call you? Romia, say Shimron.
Say Shimroni.
Shimpink.
Say Adiel.
Yafi. Say Ores. Say Orah.
Orah.
What about Safta? Safta.
Mommy.
Not mommy. Say daddy.
Daddy.
Can you say daddy?
Daddy.
Yes. What about saying?
Say grandma. Yeah.
Can you say?
She
Hey,
can't
wait,
say
Romia,
grandma.
say Jeffrey. Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
Wait a minute, not you. Not yes, I know
Say
Safta.
Jeffrey.
Jeff. Can you say Jeffrey? Jeff. Jeff.
Yes.
And say
And
what about saying Kenny? Ken.
Ready.
And what about Shirley? Rompy, come here and say Shirley. Shirley. Shirley
She
and
calls it Sherry Jelly.
what about
She calls it Sherry Jelly.
okay, what about I like? What about Dennis?
Dennis.
Oh yes. Dennis, it's Uncle Dennis. And what about she growls. She growls when she says, I like, because Orah, the book is about Big Bird who likes big things, and Little Bird who likes little things. So she says, I like, pretending to be Big Bird. She's reading out of the book now. Read something you like. What do... Big Bird?
I like Big Bird.
I like. Look, Little Bird. Here's Little... I like. That's Big Bird. Little Bird says, I like.
I like way big clothes.
Freight train.
I like my little electric train. Oh, I know.
You are a shouting little one, aren't you, darling? Oh. Romia can be a bit of a pain in the neck because she's very, very strong-minded, and if she decides she only wants her mother to feed her, then she won't let anybody else feed her. For example, if I now offer her some orange juice, see what she says. Don't you want it? Which meant, I don't want you to give me some. I want mummy to. Ima something. And then if I offer her some soup. What does that mean?
Here,
Here, do you want Mommy to give it to you? And she pushes it away and stamps her feet and is very alright. Does the Mummy, which means I want Mummy to give it to me. And the fact that Mummy is cooking at the moment is to her irrelevant. She calls herself Yaya. She calls herself Yaya. Come here. Do you want to come out of your chair? What? Okay, darling. Okay. Mommy's coming. Yaya's being naughty. Mommy's coming in a minute, darling. Okay. Now Orah's picked her up. The shouting has gone away. Now, Rompy is quite happy to eat because her mummy is here. Now she drinks. Now she drinks it because the mummy... Is that nice? Nice. Romia says nice. Romia is now being fed by her mummy and is now playing happily, taking with a spoon the lokshen out of one plate and putting it into the other plate. And when she finishes that, she'll take it from that plate and put it back into the first one. Whoa, look at this little nosy of yours. Let me wipe your nosy. What's that, darling? It's for eating up. Don't you want to eat it? Is it nice to eat, darling? Yes, darling. Did Mummy drop something? Oi, oi, oi. Oi, oi, oi. מה זה? מה זה?
מה את רוצה? בבקשה. היא רוצה את הגדול.
Orah's just brought in some watermelon, what Romia called tiach, avatiach. Do you want to eat some avatiach?
בבקשה.
Orah gave her a small piece and she refused to take that. She wanted the biggest piece. Now she's got the biggest piece. Are you eating the biggest piece of avatiach? Let's talk to people in England. Say hi.
Hi.
Who are we going to say hi to?
Grandma.
Yes.
Granddad.
Yes.
Jeffrey, Danny, Shelley,
And
Kenny.
okay. What do you want to tell them about? Would you like to tell them about the snow?
No.
What do you want to tell them about? Well, tell them about the snow then. Tell them what happened. Tell them what happened.
Can't.
Try.
I don't want to tell.
Well, what do you want to tell them about something? Tell them about your birthday party. Did you have a birthday party?
Yes.
Oh, how old were you?
6 and a quarter.
6 and a quarter? Why were you 6 and a quarter? Why did you have a birthday when you were 6 and a quarter? What happened when you were 6? Do you remember what happened?
Yeah.
What happened? The what? The what? Ceiling.
Tika.
Yeah.
The ceiling fell.
Well, hold to keep it near your mouth again. The ceiling fell. Why did the ceiling fall? Do you remember why the ceiling fell? What happened?
Toilet.
Did it overflow?
The water get out of the toilet.
And what happened? Where did it go? Did it go through the floor?
Yeah.
And it went through the ceiling? And what happened to the carpet?
Fell.
The carpet? What happened to the carpet?
Wet.
They got very wet, didn't they? And how did Daddy mend it? Do you remember how Daddy mended it?
Mm.
What did I do with the carpet?
Take it to the basement.
That's right, I took it to the basement and I dried it. And what did I have to do to the floor?
To fix the floor.
Do you remember how I fixed it?
Yeah.
How? I had to pull it up
Yeah.
and plane it, and then what did we do afterwards? Do you remember?
Just put it in.
You just put it back again, and then do we have to? How did we fix it? With glue?
No.
What did we fix it with? A hammer.
And nails.
And we nailed it down. Did it work nicely? Would Jeffrey be pleased? Do you think Jeffrey would have liked doing that?
Yes.
Why should Jeffrey come? What would Jeffrey do if he came? If Jeffrey came here, what would he do? Have we got things for him to fix? What's broken at the moment?
TV.
The TV. Well, the first TV. Is anything else broken? The toaster. Do you know the toaster?
Oh yeah.
What happened to the toaster? What fell inside it?
I think a pretzel fell.
A pretzel. It wasn't a pretzel. Do you know what it was? It was a pen.
Pen.
A pen fell in and got melted. Oh.
I see one like pretzel.
Well, it's a brown pen, but it wasn't really a pretzel.
No.
Why? It looked brown and curved like a pretzel?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't. It was a pencil, a crayon. You know, one of these loading. Yes. Okay, just a second. Have you got something you want to say? We were just talking. I'm sorry we broke off because I had a telephone call from the hospital. Now we come back. What were we talking? We were talking about in the toaster. Did you think there was a pretzel inside? It looked like a burnt pretzel, but it wasn't. It was one of the crayons. I think Romia must have dropped it inside, and it's melted and curved round.
I want to see it.
Do you want to see it? Well, when we finish talking to Grandma and Granddad, maybe we'll take the thing to pieces and try and mend it. Do you want to help me? Yeah, you'd like to? Okay. Anyway, is there anything you'd like to say to all the people? What would you like to say?
Nothing.
Hmm?
Nothing. This was Shimron talking.
Say bye-bye to everybody.
Bye-bye.
We didn't really say it before, but that conversation was between me and Shimron. Adiel now has said he has some other things to say.
To come and to
Now,
I would like to come to England for 2-3 weeks or 1 month, just to visit. Is banging on the tape recorder. She thinks that it's made to bang on.
As you can imagine, the kids get a little embarrassed, a little nervous in talking to you. So it's all done in little starts and goes. Adiel is very much freer talking than Shimpy. Shimron at the moment is hard at work painting one of the presents that he got for his birthday present. Romia is pretending to sleep next to his mummy, and Adiel is being bored since he would like to do the thing at the moment that Shimron is doing. But that's life. This is a painting thing, but you paint over first with some special compound which makes it all fluff up in the oven after you've painted it. So maybe when Shimpy's done the first one, he'll let Adiel do one as well, since there are 3. What? You don't think you'll let him do it? What? Well, you see how it comes out, and then you may decide to let him do one as well. I think that's the nicest thing, because you don't know what present he's going to get for his birthday.
I'm not going to
They
let you play with anyone.
yeah, they got a
Yes, you're going to.
they got a present. They got a present of Monopoly.
One day.
It took them about 2 days to agree on who would do what thing. Where's the number 6? Have you got number 6 here?
No, 9.
Okay. Well, if that's all the number 6, then wait a minute. That's a lot of paint here.
7. Now 7 is green.
Okay. Wash this one. Wash the brush. It's a painting by colours so far. Orah will. That's working. It's working. Say hello.
Hello, everybody. I'm trying to rest.
The hello wasn't there.
Oh, I said hello.
Yeah, but it was switched on.
I said again. Okay, again, hello, everybody. I'm trying to say something if Romia let me. Since she came back from the hospital, she's so much what?
Nervous.
No, I don't know.
Attached.
She lost all her confidence, and she's so attached to me. She won't leave me alone for 1 second. And going to work really is a bit of rest. It's just going to rest for few hours, because at home, if she's not asleep, she just go around and asks me to pick her up and wants me to sit and read. And she just bring her little cloth and put it on me and try to sleep with her dummy. And even now she's resting watching me on my tummy. And we really feel that our life a bit changed since Romia became ill. Well, we have to think many times before doing something, because we're trying not to do things which are no good for Romia. Generally speaking, we're not suffering here, and it's quite nice, but we'll be very happy to go back, because it's really not our style. Everything is so much controlled by the weather. in the winter you don't go out as much as you are used to in Israel. Even in England, I think that people leave the house more than they do here. Here, everything is done by telephone. People spend hours talking on the phone to each other. And it's especially very difficult for the kids because they don't spend time outside at all. On their day off, if it's Sunday or any other day, then we have to find some occupation for them, or friends call and invite them, or we invite other friends, and everything is so much a matter of planning and thinking what to do that it's really very awkward. I think they suffer also from Orah, Romia. She's just trying to get off the bed, and it's very high bed, and everything is really different than what we are used to. Studying till 4 o'clock in the afternoon is also, I think, a bit too much for them, because they come back and are very tired, and by the time they do some homework, it's time already to go to sleep. And I don't think they particularly love school. Do you?
I hate.
Go on, say it.
I hate school.
Adiel says he hates school. And Adiel asked me how long it's going to take till we leave America, and he was sitting and trying to work it out. So he told me it's 4.5 months. He was very upset.
It was 4.5 months that you had school.
And he was very upset when I told him it's 5.5 months. And he told us already that next time he won't join us if we come to America. Will you? Why? Why don't you like it here? Go on, say.
Because I don't have good friends that I can play outside. And there's a lot of snow, so I can't.
But you don't have snow in Israel, and you wanted so much to play in the snow.
Yeah, but now. But now, I'm afraid of
Snow?
I want to go to Israel for training.
That's because you can play outside there, is that all? Is that the only reason?
No, because here,
They can't hear you if you go so far.
but here, when we had recess, when it was
Summer? During the summer.
At the end of the summer, we had recess outside door, but now we have inside door because it's full of snow in the
So you can't play football?
school outside, so we can't go out. We eat.
What time?
Eat and read stories and some people some children trade food.
Trade food?
Yeah, and someone gives
So how you go?
someone gives a different child a lollipop, and he gives him
An apple.
a sweet.
Yeah?
Yeah?
And we trade
How do they call sweet here?
Candy.
candy.
Mm.
But
What do you do outside though during the summer?
outside we play, run,
Football? Football? Baseball?
No, baseball.
Football?
We play. Not soccer.
Soccer?
Soccer.
Soccer?
It's football. It's football in England.
Yeah, and can you see if we finished this side?
It just started. It's called soccer.
Soccer.
Adiel.
Adiel
It's called,
went to
yeah, I
ask his
understand.
daddy
It's
for
called
some
soccer here.
explanation about the terms of
It's
the
called
games.
football in England, but it's not called football
It's
in
football,
America.
yes, it's football, Adiel.
In England, it's called football.
And we play football and
So do you want us to
the
stay?
middle,
Do you want us to
in
stay?
the middle of the game, and we have to go inside. And we hate to go inside because we like to play outside
Oh, Romia, don't do that.
and run.
And so you want us to stay here during the summer?
No,
Why not?
Would you like to go swimming?
it's too hot.
Would you like to go to Israel and go swimming?
Yes, during the summer it's very hot and very
Sticky.
sticky. Hey, humid. And people just during the summer and during the winter you find it very difficult to stay outside because if it's summer it's so hot and it's unpleasant, and so you quickly run to your air-conditioned car or to your cool house. And if it's winter, then you can't stay outside because it's so cold. Then you run quickly to your heated car, into your heated house, into your heated school and heated office and heated store, shops. So, and we are not used to living so much inside. We like spending time outside as well. We didn't go out for lots of trips or walks either because we don't, in the beginning we didn't find the right time. We have only Sundays, and so Ian and the kids spend quite a lot of time going to museums and seeing the center of the city, but far away places like we've been just to New York and to Boston, and since Romia became ill, it's very much more difficult to go away really, because she wakes up at night so many times and then she wants to sleep with me, and she is so you can see that she's still very troubled by the whole situation. I mean, the influence of the hospitalization. She, in the first few nights, she used to, even when she was very, very tired, I used to put her in her bed and rock her. She has a bed on springs, and I used to rock her, and she used to close her eyes, and after a second open them quickly and look for me to see if I left her bed. And of course I don't want to harm her more than what happened. So we're trying to be very flexible with her and to let her spend as much time with me as possible. But it doesn't seem to change. Her she's still very attached to me and won't let me leave for 1 second. My mother is looking after her since she came during the mornings 4 times a week when I go to school. I teach only till about 12, and because she knows that my mother is looking after her and I have to leave the house, so whenever she sees my mother, she shouts, "No, no, no," and everything is no. She's so rejecting. Although she's very much more used to her, and she goes around, call her Safta, Safta, Safta. Efo Safta, yeah, where is Safta? Romia, where is Safta?
Safta is grandma.
Yes, where is Safta Shoshana? My mother don't like the cold, of course, and I think she got the flu after being with us for 2 weeks. She became ill, and she went to school, and she came back, and she wasn't feeling very well. And I think the whole week she's a bit fluing, although she, of course, don't stay in bed. She gets up and tidy up a bit and help and does everything. And during the night she finds it difficult to sleep. So what do you want to do, Romia? What do you want? Yes. Yes, it's a very nice picture. What do you want to see?
Well, it depends on the picture.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't look very much now because of the way the clock is being
Oh, look, it's so nice. Oh, it's so nice. Adiel got it for his birthday. Shimron, sorry. And you see, he's got sort of, how do you call it?
It's later on in the evening now. The kids have gone to sleep. Shoshana's gone to sleep, Orah's working. I just want to say a few words to sign off the tape so that we can give the tape recorder back in the morning to the friends who'd lent it to us. The snow's also beginning to melt a bit. It's been a nice shining day, and we hope you're all well and look forward to hearing from you in the near future. We'd be very pleased to see any or all of you here. I assume that we'll visiting on the way back to Israel, but anybody who wants to come and visit us here is advised to wait till some of the snow has passed, though from what we heard in the news today, England is probably even worse off than we are. We're talking about 20-foot drifts in southwest England. Well, I hope that at least has given you a miss. We all send you our love. Bye bye for now.